Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the final series of the broadcast. Welcome back to the Crank Gather Season 2 preliminary stage. This is the first stage of this 6-team invitational. We have 6 teams rising up here. We had Basilisk and Streamer Zone facing off. We had Shopify and Team Liquid. And now we have Team Vitality versus Team Falcons. Here we go, the final best of 5 of the series, or sorry, of the broadcast. And of course, this is immediately only day one of I think like 5 days. It's like a full week of Crank Gathers of this tournament, so we have plenty more Team League matches ahead of us in the coming week over the next, of course, couple of days. Let's go. Let us go. Up first, so we have our lineups. We have our lineups here. We have Zoun. Zoun versus Rogue is going to be our initial starting best of 1 on Mothership, followed by Ryung versus Bunny, TVT on Dream and Scars. Yo, Team Vitality, they rolled well. They rolled well. Ryung, of course, if you know anything about Ryung, he has arguably the best TVT in the world. His best matchup by far is TVT, so this is the matchup where he thrives in the most. He would have loved to have faced off against Bunny. Bam, they're facing off on Dream and Scars. We have Ryung and Maru playing the 2v2 against Bunny and Rogue. That's an interesting pairing. Bearing in mind, Ryung does have some 2v2 experience. I believe the last time he competed, it was Ryung alongside Gumiho. It was Ryung and Gumiho. They were playing 2v2s together. They were competing as a duo with some mixed success. I don't really think that Maru has much experience, but maybe Ryung is more comfortable with a Terran partner, or maybe they're just closer in general, so like they're able to have a little bit better synergy. So it's going to be an interesting pairing here, and of course they're up against Bunny and Rogue, a duo that I guarantee you have limited, if not barely any experience together in this kind of format. So it's going to be interesting to see some of these pairings and to see forced 2v2 with players that maybe are inexperienced. Likewise, we have at the end of the series Maru and Solar in a TVZ. That's going to be a spicy rematch. If you remember, Solar was one of the reasons why Maru got knocked out earlier in the most recent season of GSL. Like Solar, he did knock Maru the hell out. Maru, he was attempting to play mech, attempting to 8-racks, and Solar read him like a book. In that preparation style format, Solar, he clowned all over Maru in GSL. We'll see if Maru can get his revenge. We'll see if he can get his revenge here, as up first we have the best of 1, Zoun and Rogue. Let's go. Let's go. Game 1 is going to be on Mothership. If you notice, the starting maps are the same for each series, or just the map order is the same for each series. Same map order, and here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Mothership, we have the Red Zerg player. The Red Zerg player for Team Falcons, it is Rogue. And spawning in the bottom side of Mothership, we have his opponent. We have for Team Vitality, the South Korean Protoss player, it is Zoun. Oh boy. Because we're getting into our PvZ. When it comes to Mothership again is a very large map, a 3-player spawn map as well, so 3 possible spawn locations. We can see Zoun scouting top right, and Rogue also sends its first Overlord to the top right hand side as well. So both players scouting in the unfortunately wrong location. But Zoun will be the first to realize that of course Rogue is elsewhere, as Rogue does open up hatch gas pool. Okay, we are opening up. With this initial setup here, I'm curious to see how they play out on Mothership. Mothership, again, is a very large map. I would say it's not the easiest map to be defensive on, though. I'm curious to see if Zoun will attempt to turtle up and get into Sky Toss. We'll see if Rogue, how aggressive he can be as well. All-ins are common in ZVP in the current meta, so we're expecting to see Rogue be hyper-aggressive on a 3-base economy. But we'll keep an eye on his tech. We'll see what direction he takes us in. For now, everything's looking as it should be. Down does expand. And Zoun, he is one to be cheeky as well. If you're watching Zoun during his GSL run, like Zoun, he was very aggressive, very cheesy, very all-in as well in every single matchup. So we'll see if he has any of that flair in this matchup here, in this best of 1. That's the other thing, right? Players have time to prepare, time to analyze their opponents and have some specialized builds. The best part of knowing the lineup ahead of time, of course, is that preparation style format. Best part of Team Leagues, to be honest. I mean, This just makes me miss WTL for sure. I mean, it makes me miss Pro League more than anything, but WTL is the closest we had in modern StarCraft. But now Stargate opener out of Zoun. So Stargate opener into the Oracle, most likely. Zoun has the option to open up Void Ray, for example, to deny vision and deny scouting, but it's quite rare to see that nowadays. Quite rare. From here, again, we've just had a bit of a slower start as we're taking our third bases, building up. I mean, again, early game EVP, it's quite tame. It is typically quite tame until the mid game. Early game aggression from Zerg can't really achieve too much here just because of the solid position with 2 and 3 bases. We could see Rogue invest into early links to try and force a cancel at the third base, but even then it's difficult due to the oracles. Oh, as we do see Zoun expanding, oracles are on the way. And Rogue, he doesn't make a surge of Lings. He actually goes for early Eva Chamber, so this should be +1 melee into Ling Hydra. I say into Ling Hydra, in the latest patch we have seen a rise in popularity of going Ling Bane. Because of the buff to the Baneling, it is more viable in this matchup as well, so we'll see if Rogue does invest into Banelings or not. Likewise, we'll see if he does throw down a safety Roach Warren or not either. Eva Chamber typically means we're skipping Roaches and we're skipping Banelings. Melee is going to be on the way. Meanwhile, that is a very early Twilight Council. So a bit of an earlier Twilight Council. We'll see if we skip the Forge and if we go for earlier gateways. Drone's going to be going down. Nice damage here by Zoun. Yeah, Rogue out of position. 6 drone kills. Ay, brutal damage. 6 workers are picked up. Rogue having a very shaky start. +1 melee has begun. And we are indeed going for a later Forge. Okay, so still going for the Forge. That means that there's no chance here that Zoun is going into Glaives. This should be +1 and Blink. And we'll keep an eye on Zoun's gateway count, because so far he's had a pretty nice start. He may decide to double down and go for extra gateways and be hyper aggressive. We'll see. As Blink is on the way alongside +1. Rogue is indeed going for the Baneliness. As we mentioned, this is kind of a recent change, of course, because of the buff to Banelings to their HP. So we're going into Ling Bane. As the Oracle, barely does go down. Yeah, brutal overextension. At the same time, they shade into the middle line. Drone's going to be getting picked up. And there's not much on the ground here. Lings, they try to engage. Nice positioning here out of Zoun. As Lings are falling. And so far we get 3, but we can get even more done. As they make their way into the natural. Oh, can we get 4? Oh, we can. 5 drones. 5 drone kills. Rogue does defend. He's going Ling Bane Hydra. So getting into Ling Bane Hydra. Meanwhile, Zoun back at home, setting up, securing himself, and taking into Storm. So again, a very comfortable start at a Zoun. Yes, he lost all of his adepts, but adepts don't really scale well into a longer game anyway. You want to get rid of them as the game progresses. Nice cancellations. Rogue, he does force a cancel. Does find some damage. Storm has begun. And again, breaking a 3-basing player here on Mothership, it does seem quite difficult. The 4th base is more spread out, and it will give Rogue more options to be aggressive, assuming that Zoun takes the 4th. As Zoun does take his gases. Building up into Robo, and Zoun, he should be expanding. And we'll see which base he takes, whether he expands away or towards Rogue. Zoun does have options. Okay, expanding away. being a little bit safer. Takes the 4th base. He's building up his Ling Hydra. Does run up to 80, essentially. So he's got a decent economy. Working on his 5th base for his larva. And Rogue should soon be maxing out. If you notice something, Rogue, from what we're seeing here, he's not taking up. He's not taking his gas at his 3rd base, and it looks like he has no intention of taking up into Hive or into Lurkers. He's purely going for a Lair Tech Ling Bane Hydra army. Maxing out here on Lair Tech. This is essentially an all-in. If this fails to get damage done, then Rogue is going to be outscaled. Why is he going to be outscaled? As I mentioned, no Hive, no Lurkers. By design, right? So he has no Lurkers, he has no Hive behind this. It's all or nothing for Rogue. And he has to do critical damage, either break a base or break the army. Zoun is getting ready. So far, clearing up Lings, getting into the Banelings. Yeah, nice storm. Banelings, they will not finish. One Baneling does compete. Does complete. Oh. And more Banelings on the way. And again, this area here is so open. Like, it's once the rush gets knocked down, it's so wide open. I'll be impressed here if Zoun can hold. Has them the storms, and the rocks are still up. Banelings here roll in. If they don't quite connect, rocks are knocked down. That's all the Banelings. We have 5 more behind this, and more Banelings rolling in. Again, Rogue, he's not droning, he's not taking. Like, still no infestation bits, still no Lurker Den. It's all or nothing. So I'll say attempt to catch reinforcements. Another storm with the Banelings. Ooh, they do finish. Oh no! Oh, massive connections. High Templar go down. 0 storms left. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Zoun here overextends. He lost everything. And Rogue has done it. Yeah, Rogue he has done it. We'll catch all the Archons. We'll overwhelm. Brutal Baneling connections. And there's going to be 1 storm maybe with an energy overcharge. That's not going to be enough. As Zoun is broken. And again, you can see just how open this area is at the 3rd, or in between the bases. It's so difficult to turtle in this map, so difficult to defend. I mean, it doesn't help that he took all the Banelings in the face. True. And Rogue, he should just be able to rally at this point. Should be able to rally across. There's the 1 storm. Oh, 2nd storm comes in. But that's it. Those are the only storms. And without any more splash damage, there is no defense. And with that, Team Falcons looking to take a lead in the series. GG gets called. Rogue, he will take it. Against Zoun, he had a decent start, not gonna lie. GG, Zoun, he did have a decent start, killing a lot of workers, getting up to 4 bases, but as you mentioned, specifically on this map, the area outside of the 3rd is so wide open. It's so difficult to muster up a defense, even with the defender's advantage, even with shield batteries, even with stasis traps, even with defensive storms. Like, it's still quite difficult. It's still so open. We saw a decent initial fight out of Zoun, but he overextended, pushed too far forward, got too close to the Banelings, and he lost all of his High Templar. GG. GG well played. And he still had like 3 or 4 storms left over if he had kept them alive. But GG well played with that. Rogue does take a lead for his team, and now we're getting to our next best of 1. Up next is going to be Ryung versus Bunny, and I'm excited for this. Another TBT, also on Dream and Scars. True. But Ryung, his best matchup is TBT. Ryung is, of course, one of, if not the reason why Clem did switch out of playing Terran and switch to Protoss specifically for this matchup. He bullied Clem out of TBT, and we'll see if he can do the same to Bunny. Let's go. Let us go. As we are loading into Dream and Scars. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Dreams and Scars, we have the South Green Terran. We have the Red Terran. Oh. Leading the series 1-0 for Team Falcons. It is Bunny. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Terran player. We have the blue Terran player himself representing Team Vitality. It is Ryung. 79 drones is not an all-in, even if there's no tech right now, no? Depends on your definition. Like, I would say it is still an all-in, just because the definition of an all-in is that you intend to kill your opponent, and that if you don't, you fall far behind. That would have been the case there. If he failed to deal any damage to the economy, if he failed to break the army, then Zoun would skyrocket ahead and would snowball out of control. So like 4-base all-ins do exist, at least from our experience, like covering StarCraft and covering games. You wouldn't call it like a rush, like that's I guess that's like the definition of like an earlier aggression or earlier all-in. Like, for example, you can be on 80 drones and not have a lair and be on hashtag, and you are 100% all in. Like, the drone count doesn't change that fact. Yeah. Here we go. Here we go. We do have our pocket bases, and both players will be expanding. We have Rax expand out of Ryung, Rax expand out of Bunny. Here we go. From here, we do pull away. We'll see how we approach this as well. Again, not uncommon to go into mech as well. We've seen mech out of Ryung, we've seen mech out of Bunny. Not saying we'll see that here, but it's going to be a possibility. It's going to be in the back of our minds. But now, just building up on 2 bases. Speaking of greed, Ryung, he's actually going for a faster 3rd CC. Okay. Bunny poking in, and this is going to be a close defense here from Ryung, but Ryung behind this, there it is. 3rd CC is on the way before the starport. A hyper greed out of Ryung, and we'll see if he can get away with it. Ryung, he's going to be the defender. Bunny is going to be in him to punish behind this. Yep, starport, so standard 1-1-1 out of Bunny, and for the time being, he has not scouted. So Bunny has failed to scout. He's not aware of the greed of Ryung. Now, if Bunny, if he fails to do any economic damage, if Ryung is able to get his 3rd base up and running, then he will just be able to snowball out of control. He'll be able to max out. He'll be able to saturate his natural and 3rd base that much faster, and you'll see a big power spike and a big supply spike in favor of Ryung once he gets his 3rd base up and running. We'll see if he can get there. There's still, of course, a chance for Bunny to punish and to delay and to contain Ryung on 2 bases. So it's on Bunny to scout, and it's on Bunny to be active. As Ryung is going for a 3-1-1 setup. Again, because he's being so greedy, he is going for 2 more Raxes before the starport. So no drop play. No harassment. And Bunny, he's getting ready for drop play. He's got his Cyclone at his pocket base. He's got his Reapers as well. He's splitting up his army. Marines here at the natural, or in the main. They're also on the edge. And Bunny has no idea. We'll see if he blindly goes for a 2nd starport and if he goes into like 2 base play. We're hoping for that to be the case. So Ryung is getting into sim. And this passivity is going to hurt Bunny. Again, he still might push out with his 1st wave of tanks. Now getting a 2nd. Still turtling up. There's a scan, reveals the tanks, reveals the ravens. Ryung, he's aware of the more standard opener. And Ryung, he just lands his third. Let's go. Just picks up, just floats over. Nothing to be worried about. Bunny is contained. But Bunny, he does have the larger army. So again, better economy for Ryung, and over time, Ryung, he will outscale Bunny. Bunny, he does have a massive tank lead. He's got 3 tanks to 0. And that lead is only going to get greater. Here comes the move out. Bunny is pushing. Ryung, he will miss this. He does miss the army. Sends out a spotted marine. Crucial. And here we go. It's all in this bush. Bunny making his way towards the third base. Marine does miss the army. Scans, sees the army is missing. Oh, gets spotted. Ryung is racing over. It's on Ryung to try to engage ahead of time before the tanks do siege. Before Bunny gets within range of the base. There's a scan. Sorry, there's a stim. A stims in. Tanks take siege in time. Yeah, they do siege up. Oof. Brutal tank volleys. And Bunny is snowballing out of control. He's pushing in. Again, the Marines are so low. Third base is denied. And Bunny, he can just keep pushing into the natural. He can just keep going. And again, there are 0 tanks. There are 0 tanks here for Ryung. He has man with gun. That's all he's got. And we spoke about this in the previous series. The main base here is even more exposed, even more vulnerable, because here's all the production. It's within range. Yeah, the production is within range. Bunny's still rallying. Ryung is going to try to catch reinforcements. He wraps around. Does catch a couple of Marines. But the starport is exposed. The starport's under fire. Brutal damage. And again, Ryung, he was greedy. He tried to get away with it. Fast 3rd TC, delayed starport, delayed tank production. He almost did. Repairs not in time. And he pulls the boys. Yeah, the boys are being pulled. We gotta land the Vikings. We come if it's around. Yes, around here takes down one of the tanks, but yeah, Bunny holds. Bunny, he maintains his position. 20 SCVs go down. And Bunny can expand. Yeah, Bunny taking his own third. Taking his own expansion. Liberation has arrived. Yeah, taking down one of the tanks. And tanks, they can just keep moving in. They can just keep pushing forward, getting over the Raxes. Bunny, he should not be stopped. As he is taking his time, I feel like we could have moved a little bit further faster. And Marines that come in. Vikings, are we going to land? We don't even need to. GG gets called. Bunny, he does overwhelm. And Bunny, he will take a 2-0 lead for Team Falcons. GG. GG, well played. Winding it back, it came down to the builds of choice. Ryung, he was hyper greedy here on Dreams and Scars, going for a 3rd CC before Starport into a 3-1-1 setup. Also before Starport as well, going for that 3-rack setup. Going into Mass Marine into early Stim. He had a really hefty bio army, but with that kind of army, with that composition, it is so crucial that you get on top of the tanks, right? It's like, because he had 0 tanks, he had 0 defensive tanks in time for the first push. He had to get on top of the tank army of Bunny ahead of time, had to engage, but he wasn't able to. He was a little bit late to move in. He went for the stim. He was late to scout the army. True. He saw the army as it was already in his half of the map, and by the time he reacted, Bunny was already sieged. He was already sieged up. He took the better fight, and Bunny snowballed from there. It's a very fine line that you have to walk as Ryung to be able to get away with this style. Part of it, of course, is being aware of the move outs, being aware of the push. So GG, well played. With that, Team Falcons with a very, very nice lead so far. They're up 2-0 as both Rogue and Bunny were able to take their respective games. Oh. Sorry, just catching up. Yeah, Rogue and Bunny did take their respective games, and now we are up to the 2v2. Okay, I do not know what to expect from this, but we have our 2v2 on Gem Garden. As I mentioned before, Ryung does have experience. He does have experience in 2v2. Maru, Bunny, and Rogue less so. unless Maru, he's like secretly like playing team games all the time, and he's plaguing, you know, like the ladder out there, the Korean ladder in 2v2s. It's possible, I suppose, but for the most part, yeah, it's a little bit less experience in said 2v2. In general, the Koreans don't really compete in too many 2v2 tournaments. It's very rare to see that happen, so it's gonna be a bit of a first. Let's go. I'm ready. I'm excited. I don't know what to expect. This could just very swiftly, very easily just be a 3-0 in favor of Team Falcons. Let's go. As Maru has arrived, the ace player for Team Vitality. The ace is here. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gem Garden, we have our Zerg and Terran duo. We do have for Team Falcons, Rogue and Bunny. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue team. We have the blue and teal Terran players. We have Maru and Ryung for Team Vitality. Here we go. Oh, we're cheesing. Okay. Let's go. SCVs are being sent across the map, and we're going proxy 2 racks. Both players are. Did I say 2? Yeah, 2 racks. So 2 racks is 2 SCVs for either player. We're sending everything across the map. We're committing. Let's go. So technically, I guess proxy 4 racks. Yeah, proxy 4 racks. As we're gonna have 4 axes up and running. Gases are being taken back at home, and we'll see if Ryung and Maru can pop off. Let's go. As it's gonna be a very short game. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. Meanwhile, a big shout out to Ariel Mortis in the chat. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing for 6 months, for half a year. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for 6 months of subscribing. Do appreciate the support as always. Hope you enjoy the content, the casting, and the StarCraft. Thank you. See, chat, is that a replay? If you are looking at the title. Oh, yo, shout out to Abba Tidorcillo. Thank you. But yes, it will say replay cast in the title of the stream. If we ever do have a replay cast, it does say that. We're very transparent with that. But here we go. We have a 4-axe. It's a 4-axe Reaper. 4-axe Reaper here from Team Vitality. Meanwhile, Rogue. Whoa, hold on. A Rogue. Hatch. He's crazy. He's going hatch before pool. He has nothing. No gases, no spawning pool. Rogue, he cannot help defend. Oh, it's a 1v2. It's Buddy's on his own. Buddy, he's on his own. Rogue is being hyper greedy right now. Now is not the time. But again, 0 queens and 0 Zerglings from Rogue. Reapers are moving in, and again, Bunny's on his own. Bunker will not finish. Ah, no. And meanwhile, speaking of bunkers, they're getting up and running here on the hatchery of Rogue. Well, it's all about breaking Bunny. Green production just now began. Okay, KDA charges, they do zone away, and more SCVs are falling. The bunker may be able to finish up. I mean, it comes down to our players, so it comes down to the control. The bunker does finish, okay. Bunker does complete. Bunny, he's holding on to the ramp. Bunny's holding. Let's go. He does barely hold on. This hatchery is going to go down, but Rogue, he's going into roaches. He's taking up into roaches, taking his gases. These hatcheries, they should go down. And the game will continue. Factories are on the way. Do have those factory follow-ups. Oh, hello, Canoia. Hello. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Bienvenidos. Yeah, from here they will check. Oh, they spot the roaches. And the roaches, they will barely get away. Yeah, Hellions, they come into support as well. Another base is found. A dozen eye mining, not bad. Catching out a handful of workers. So far, 3 drones on 5 SCVs have gone down, but ideally we were hoping for a little bit more damage here. the end, Rogue, he still has an expansion. Still has a base. Back at home, Maru and Ryung, they are expanding and they're being forced into a longer game. I don't think they wanted to play a longer game in 2v2, but they're being forced into it. Let's go. Let us go. Likewise, Vikings on the way, potentially fake cloak as well. We'll see if we actually go into a Banshee in the aftermath as a follow-up. Rash Cell Scouts. And it's been a bit of an awkward start. It's been an awkward start. When it comes to the economies here, Bunny does have a lower SCV count than both of his Terran opponents. Likewise, Bunny has yet to begin a 3rd CC, so Bunny, he's behind economically. Rogue, he's in a decent position, and as the drop is moving out, Maru and Ryung, they're moving in. Yeah, Mass Reaper across the map. Here comes Bunny's drop. Reapers are revealed. Oh, they do not commit. There was potential. Reapers, they pull back home. At the same time, Bunny also dropping across the map. Going for Ryung. It does get an SCV. Does get a worker. We have the Master Traveler Army also pushing through the center. And what do we have to defend here? A couple of Cyclones. I'll be honest, I'm not too convinced here by the defense of Ryung and Maru. Yeah, Reapers are getting caught out. Brutal losses. As almost every Reaper will fall. And back at home, Ryung, he has 2 Cyclones. Maru has 2 Cyclones. There's 1 Banshee as well. More Cyclones on the way. Ryung is playing mech. And mining is going to be denied. A little bit too much greed here from Maru. I mean, from both Terrans. Lead out those workers. Rogue, he commits in. Gets on top of the Cyclones. Tank will be biled down. Oh, Rogue, he's running out of steam a little bit here. Yeah, running out of steam will bleed out those Ravagers. SCVs are falling. But can they break that ramp? Ah, not quite. Yeah, they're forced back. They forced it back off. Jesus, Maru, he was getting a 3rd CC. Maru, he was double expanding. Ay, ay, ay. Crazy, papi, crazy. Rogue, does he check? No. He does, yeah. He does have the wherewithal. He does check. He does confirm the CC. He will not delay it. He will not cancel it. If he was a couple of seconds earlier here, he could have. But Maru, he escapes with 3 bases. Does survive. Okay. And the game will continue. The game will continue. Team Vitality, they have held. They hold, they survive. Behind this, you see Bunny and Rogue expanding. And we just see Rogue with a decent drone count. In general, Rogue and Bunny, they have slightly better economies. Slightly. Ryung, of course, he is embracing mech. He's even floating over here towards the top side as well, taking his own 3rd base, going Mass Factory. Meanwhile, Maru going into Bio. So Bio out of Maru. Mech from Ryung. Morning, yes, yes. Good morning. Good morning. Buenos dias, buenos dias. Here, the game is slowing down. We're slowing things down. We're macroing up. We do have a Spire on the way here for Rogue, so he's getting into Muta play. There is a little potential for damage here, especially against Ryung. Maybe less so against Maru. Just because of the limited anti-air that Ryung has. Likewise, Bunny's getting into a 2nd factory. Armory. It looks like mech out of Bunny as well. Nice figures. Gets 2 tanks. 2 tanks go down. Cyclone drop here in Ryung's 3rd. Overall, Rogue and Bunny doing well. Harassing nicely. I mean, they have to, especially against Maru. Like, Maru, he's just been insanely greedy here. And mech is the tech of choice for Bunny. Composition. And Rogue, he has built up some resources. Bunny can also feed as well. True, he can also feed him some gas. Has friendly fires force, but the tank barely survives. And here come the mutas. 9 mutas on the way for Rogue. When it comes to the bases here, as we mentioned before, Ryung, he's very exposed. No turrets, no anti-air. Ryung, he has 1 Viking. 1 Viking for Ryung. Otherwise, he's getting into Macville accelerators, but I believe Ryung, he has only 2 Cyclones. Yeah, again, the anti-air is very limited. Mutas have a lot of potential. And here they come. Could be 13 mutas in total. Scan reveals the Spire, now he knows. And now he's aware, but it might just be too little too late. Viking getting caught out. And Rogue, he's headed for the 3rd base of Ryung. Yeah, he knows. There's just not much here. Denies mining. Oh. Gets one of the Cyclones. Gets one, gets both. Oof. Being on the tank as well, so far nice pickups. Rookie does get punished somewhat. At the same time, Rogue picking up a tank. Harassing in 2 places at once. Thors have right. Oh god, massive Thor shots. Jesus. The Thor volleys are brutal and Rogue gets punished. Ryung and Maru, they're holding their own. And that's the scary thing about Rogue going into mutas, is that mutas are amazing when it comes to harassing force, but in main fights, they're not ideal. So it's on Rogue to just buy as much time, deal as much damage as possible, and then build up his ground army. Bunny's pushing. Okay. Bunny's also moving out. Rogue trying to cause a distraction. Jeez, we have double layered rocks. Oh god, that's a lot of rocks. Rogue making his way over. At the same time, Bunny pushing right down mid. Ryung is somewhat in position. Bunny does move in. Takes down the first tank. Pushing into the natural. And Ryung is just too far behind. The base is going to be denied. Denies the expansion. Mutas, they do dive into the mineral line. Maru's keeping up. At least trying to. But Maru's out of position. Trying to keep up with the mutas. Marines, the terrain is working against him. And from here we can just head into the bases. Oh. Okay. Marines are ready. Getting another tank. Picking up the turret. Oh, he doesn't quite get any ground though. Jeez. That's the links. They almost make it in. Almost. They're coming. They barely survive. Bunny going for his own Hellbat drop. Yo, it's Heart of the Storm again. Let's go. Hellbat's into the middle line. SCV's going to be going down, and you can see that Maru and Ryung, they're just the punching bags. They've just been taking so much damage since the start of the game. They were so committed to their proxy 4-axe, it just did not pay off. And they've just been stuck behind and staying behind this entire time. They're losing more SCVs. Kind of keep up. I was worried about Rogue's army like being able to hold its own, especially against the main army, against the main push. But I mean, Team Vitality, they're just stuck at home. Like Ryung and Maru, they just can't move out. They can't move out. They can barely even defend. As they rotate to the top side, and then Bunny, he's just here to just hold the line, just delay any kind of push, any kind of counter attack. He has control of the ramp. And they don't quite make it in. It's 34 mutas. We go for the Doom Drop. Okay. It does have in the army. Mutas have to come in. And it looks like Ryung, he should be able to break out here. Yeah, just barely breaks through the siege line. Bunny, he plummets in supply. At the same time, you just lay down with the Thor. Thor barely goes down. And where's the anti-air? Yeah, there's only one Thor. Only one Thor. There's 2 Marines. No shot. It's pure Marauder. You have 3 Marines coming in. And the meter's done it. Yeah, the mass meter does it. Yeah, just too many Marauders. Magic box here on top of the Thor. Thor goes down. We just came to production. And coming into this, I was favoring Team Vitality, but never mind. GG gets called, and Team Falcons, they will claim the series with a nice and clean 3-0. GG. Ay, ay, ay. GG, well played. It was a spicy way to start the game, of course. We had both Ryung and Maru going for the proxy 4-axe, but alas, did not do enough damage. Shout out to Bunny, by the way, because Bunny, he was on his own. Remember, Rogue, he went triple hatch before pool. Like, he was crazy with how much greed Rogue was going for. Like, again, Bunny, he was left on his own for the defense, and he held. Like, it was very impressive. Bunny, he was able to finish up his bunker on top of the ramp. He was able to hold on to that main base. On top of that, Rogue, sure, he lost one base, but because he double expanded, he had another backup expansion. So Rogue didn't lose too much, and Bunny, he was able to maintain his economy as well. From there, they took a lead. Maru and Ryung, they had a really hard time recovering from that. They were quite greedy themselves. We saw that Maru, he double expanded, and Ryung, he took a fast natural. So both players were being very greedy. They were focusing their economy because of the failed aggression, and that's when they were punished, right? That's when both Rogue and Bunny were able to take control of the low ground, deny bases, maintain map control, and GG. GG, well played. Ryung and Maru, they never quite recovered. They never recovered. Never got to build back up. And with that, we still have one game left, though. Bear that in mind. All 4 games are being played. And up next, we still have Maru versus Solar. Team Falcons, they will still win the overall series, but Maru and Solar, they will still play out their match. For overall scorelines, overall final results. Let's go. As there's still one game left, here we go, Maru and Solar. We're going to be loading into the Old Republic. Yeah, Bunny and Rogue carrying this series. Popped up. And here we go, we're loading in and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the Old Republic. We have the South Korean Zerg player, we have the Red Zerg for Team Falcons. As they do lead the series 3-0, it is Solar. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, we have the Blue Terran for Team Vitality. It is Maru. Opening up 2-axe Reaper. Okay, here we go. So we have an aggressive start out of Maru, and we'll see how Solar can handle himself. Remember, this is a rematch back in GSL. Solar, he is one of the reasons why Maru, he was knocked the hell out of GSL early on. Solar did knock him down and knock him out. Now it's time for Maru to get his revenge. Let's see if Maru can bring it back here. Again, if you recall in that last season of GSL, Maru, he was playing a lot of mech. He was playing mech, and he was also playing a lot of 8-raxes as well. And Solar, he read him like a book. He shut down his mech. He shut down his 8-raxes. Solar had some very impressive play and very prepared builds. But now, best of 1. Anything can happen, right? Best of 1 between these 2 players. Anything can and will happen. Meanwhile, we have our 2-axe Reaper. I don't know if I'm really fond of the idea of going for this build on this map. Again, I would imagine this is Maru's first time playing on the Old Republic. This is a very large map, and the map pool long rushes to spy ground. Solar, who'll have more time to react and to respond. Have a lot more time. And of course, after this, we can go over the overall standings and we can go over the Wikipedia page. We'll be able to do so. Oh, my apologies. I assumed 2-axe Reaper. Sorry, we opened up 2-axe Marine. Okay. This is interesting. So this is going to be a really kind of, do I say greedy? We're cutting a lot of corners here. Again, we did take later gases, so we're going into mass marine. With this, we can try to catch the first overlord. The overlord does dip in, does confirm the setup, does confirm the marines that are rallying across the map, and we'll see if Maru can shut down the third base. As marines do rally. This also does give Maru a bit of a boost when it comes to his marine production, when it comes to the follow-up stim time in the mid game. And Solar, he pulls away, he just gives up on his third. As Solar, he's going to be contained on 2 bases. Behind this, yep, there's the tech lab, there's the reactor. Stim is going to be on the way. Maru going for a third TC before a factory. This is so much greed out of Maru. Maru, he'll be insanely vulnerable against a Roach all-in. Unfortunately, there's no Roach Warren. We have Link Speed on the way instead. So again, the greed is crazy here, and Maru, he should get away with it. As typically it's third TC after the factory. And why he'd be vulnerable against a Roach all-in is because the factory is so late. That means tanks and just factory-based production, and also starport-based production is heavily delayed. On top of that, the production, the ranks are exposed. So all-ins, they hit that much harder. Nice kiting out of Maru, as Maru, he does shut down those lings. And he makes it back home. Does make it back home. And again, this is a shaky start for Solar. Solar, he's got a very late third. He's got a lot of joining to do, a lot of catching up. The overlord is going to be rallied into the main. Again, the third CC is already done. Here we go. Oh, okay, that was not expecting. So it's going to be a it's going to be a quote-unquote 3cc 2-on-1 setup into an early Hellbat push. So it's going to be a strong sim timing with additional Marines into Hellbats. Lings, they catch out 1 Marine so far. They catch out a couple of Marines, but again, this is going to hit like a truck. It's going to hit very hard, especially if there are no Banelings and no Roaches. Gases are now being taken. Gases are on the way. But Solap, por favor. The problem here is that he's getting +1 carapace. This screams 2-on-1 defense, right? This is to defend against a 2-on-1, which makes plenty of sense. But the Hellbats are, they're a bit of a twist here to the build, and no, not like this. 3-0 best of 5, yes. For those that are unaware, this is a best of 5, but the 4th game is being played. Like, regardless of score, like, the 4th game is still being played. As Maru does them in, the Hellbats are revealed. There are no Banelings to defend, and Maru, he might just overwhelm. Like, here and now, he stims in, he goes to the Queens are going down. That was the last transfuse. Nice positioning here behind the mineral line. And the Lings, they just get roasted. They just get completely roasted here. Every Zergling goes down. Queens laid out on the medevac. Medevac does get away. Queens are falling. Down to 2. 2 Queens left. Ah, no. Down to 2. Down to 1. Down to 0. Yeah, every Queen goes down. The army is heavily overstimmed. But this is still critical damage. Oof. As Maru barely gets cleaned up. Just barely. And Maru takes the lead. Maru takes the lead. He's up in workers plus mules, so Maru has a booming economy in comparison to Solar. So Maru's getting into 1-1 upgrades. So Solar, he survives, but he still just sustained too much losses, or too many losses. He lost 8 queens, 80 zerglings. Oh my, the efficiency. 81 zerglings, 8 queens, and 9 drones. Brutal damage. And Maru can just chill. He can just chill, build up on 3 bases, and go for a second push. Ay, ay, ay. He can go for a second move out. Has to be careful. Oh, no! Miscontrol as he does not pick up. Okay. Solar. That's the first big step here in coming back. As Maru, he does not pick up in time. Again, first big mistake here from Maru. Going for his own double drop on the left-hand side. Now, Solo can do that again. Solo is joining up, getting his 4th base. Do have the infestation bit on the way as well. That's going to be for Hive Tech. Un poquito más. Poquito más. So these are morphing in. Here we go, nice control out of Maru. Does focus on those banelings. This time paying attention. Yeah, we gotta lock in, Pack. Gotta lock in. Despite the stronger start, it's still Solar. As Maru, he's waiting for his upgrades. 2-2 is soon to kick in. Solar, meanwhile, his hive is on the way and is taking up in towards lurkers. We'll see if he can get there. They survive. Solar just has about a little bit more time for his banelings. This area here outside of the bases is very open. Not a lot of choke points, which does make it easier for Solar to engage. And this may just come down to the mine shots. Speaking of, does on burrow. And mine shots there, not they are going to be baited out. Nice control out of Solar. Widow mines, they do not connect. So far, so good. Solar, he's holding on. He wants that final Widow mine. Barely doesn't get it. Ay, ay, ay. There we go. Does get us towards the end. Cleans up the army, and Solar he holds. Now, what's scary about this defense is that what we're working towards, lurkers. Lurker den is complete. Hive is done. Vipers are on the way, and Solar's army is just getting better and better. So finding his army over time a little bit further, and with lurkers, he can slow the game down and max out. Meanwhile, Maru, he's already maxed. Going for a split push. Solar, he cannot engage off of creep. And Solar gets caught out. He got a lot of lings. Run by is attempted. Maru, he defends. Decent catch here from Solar, catching all these Marauders. So with 8-9 Marauders going down, at the same time Maru, he does go for the drop. Solar later reacts, has to pull away. Solar, he was out of position, pulls away the drones. The drops are popping up. It's the 5th base. No critical economic damage, but that's a lot of lava that's being denied. And likewise, Solar, he needs a bank. Needs to build up. So he's max. He's got his 2 Vipers. He has 7 Lurkers. And back at home, we'll see how well Maru's set up. I mean, he's got his Ghost. Ghost are up and running. The tanks are in position. Pushing up this ramp is going to be difficult. Maru, he's on the defensive. Mainly taking it into the mineral line, and this planetary is going to fall. Nice pick up. Takes on the planetary. Did you see that Viper? He tried to abduct. Feels bad, man. But you can see the Viper, he went in, then he went back, then he had to go back around. As you can no longer abduct tanks. Is this the first, like, quote-unquote late-game ZBT that I've been able to cast in the latest patch? I think so, to be honest. We mentioned it earlier, but Zerg matches are quite rare nowadays. So we haven't been able to really cover much. The ones we have ended in a very different way. As another base goes down, nice pick up. Solo takes down another expansion. Liberators overextend. But Maru running into the Lurkers. Oh, it doesn't quite break through. Yeah, brutal fight there for Maru. Pushing into Lurkers, did not have enough. The Lunkers, they hold on. And Solo, he's rallying. He's rallying across the map. He can't keep this going. Lurkers finally going down. But again, that's 2 bases falling. The northern 4th base, the center 5th base as well. Maru, he's stuck on a 3-base economy. He needs to build up. And if you recall, we spoke about the Old Republic previously in the previous matchup about how difficult it is to defend the 4th, right? The 4th base is just so open and so exposed. On other maps, there's typically more choke points. There's typically high ground as well. But that is not the case here at the northern or center 4th base. What I'm getting at is it's easier to push into. It is easier for the Zerg player, for Solar, to attack into set 4th. As Maru does take down the expansion. Takes down the base, but again, I don't see Maru defending this expansion. Like, I don't see him saving the 4th, Pappy. I'll be impressed if he can. Can he pull it off? Solo barely does launch in. Same time, he's pushing towards that center base. Does have the Liberators. Okay, Liberators going down. Not enough Link Bane. Maru's holding. Where are the Lunkers? Okay, 0. Never mind. 0 Lurkers. Pure Link Bane Hydra. Once again, Solo going for a run by. So let's break the snipe. Gets away in time. The base is exposed, and Solo, he's going for the kill. He's going for the planetary, and once again, this planetary should go down. And that's the win condition. Like, Solo just has to go in time and time again, kill the expansion, kill the base, ensure that Maru has no economy. Just going further in. A little bit bold. It does go further in. Lings, they get into the natural. SCVs are going down. Maru getting pulled apart. Getting pulled apart back. Solo just ensuring once again there is no economy. 16 SCV is going to be going down. He rotates over towards the top side. Maru, he's attempting to expand. He's attempting. We get some okay snipes, mine shots as well, but last another 20 SCV kills. Does save the CC, just barely. But once again, Solo, all he has to do is just back off. Just back off, rebuild, remax, and hit it once again. Yeah, Lings get into the mineral line. SCV's going down. And this is really the final fight here for Maru, even forcing friendly fire with the Overseers. Let's go. Does break through the main army. Again, it's all or nothing for Maru. He's all in. Oh my god. Snipes going up. Yeah, the Fungals a little bit too late. Most of the Hydras went down. A very strong fight here for Maru. Unfortunately, behind it, again, he has no economy. He has no economy. He has no expansion. This is his final army. And Soul just has to back off, rebuild, and remax. He has to remax. This map looks like an excellent Zerg map. It looks like someone did not tune into the TLMC judging stream. But if you remember, one of our big criticisms of the Old Republic was how difficult it is to take a fourth, if you recall. And GG gets called, and Solar, he will take the series he will clean up the game. He will take the series for his team 4-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Props to Solo for beating Maru though, that's a rarity. Solo, he beat Maru in GSL as well. Like he was the reason why Maru, he was knocked out of GSL. So he has been on a more winning record against Maru as of late, if you haven't been watching StarCraft. But GG, well played. With that, Team Falcons, they will take the 4-0. Very well done, very impressive play here. Very impressive performance, as again, we have seen timing, winding it back a little bit here, Maru did have a stronger start. If you recall, Maru, he was able to pop off with his initial 2-on-1 Hellbat push. He did cripple Solar, but then we saw some mistakes out of Maru as he was bleeding out drops, as he lost a lot of Marines. He wasn't paying attention. He lost a full drop of bio as well, full double drop of bio. So there were some missteps there from Maru in the aftermath, and then the map came into play. We kind of got into it earlier, but of course we were one of the judges for TLMC, and we did of course provide feedback for Old Republic as well. We spoke about this during the previous series, but it is very difficult to take a fourth base on the Old Republic. The map is just so open, and the fourth base is very isolated from the rest of the expansions. So we've seen it in ZVP and in every matchup really, but it's so difficult to maintain the fourth base as the defending player. And Maru finds out the hard way as well. To be fair though, I mean, Team Vitality did decide to field Maru on the Old Republic as well. As a reminder, this is like a Pro League format where the maps are revealed ahead of time, and then players, they do send out their lineups ahead of time as well, so players, they're able to prepare and get ready for their opponents. So again, a strong showing here by Team Falcons. Rogue took down Zoun, Bunny took down Ryung. We had, of course, the 2v2 also going in favor of Bunny and Rogue, and then Solar did clean it up as well against Maru. GG, well played. GG, well played. And with that, that was our final series for the broadcast. Very quickly though, if you haven't been keeping up with the event itself, we can go over the Wikipedia page. Go over the page. Un momento. Here we go. So again, this was day one of the Crank Gather Season 2 tournament. As you can see up here, it is a, how much? It is a 7,000 USD, 7,000 USD prize pool. 6 teams have been invited. Bam, we have Basilisk. We have Basilisk, Shopify, Streamer Zone, Team Falcons, Team Liquid, and Team Vitality. 6 teams in total, and we just wrapped up the preliminary stage. Here we had Basilisk. Basilisk took down Streamer Zone 4-0. We had Team Liquid taking down Shopify 3-2. Was very close, was very clutch, but Team Liquid did come out on top. And we had Team Falcons take down Vitality 4-0. So again, very strong showing here from 2 of our teams. And again, Team Liquid versus Shopify was a lot closer. The most fun thing about this is, one, we're featuring purely TLMC maps, true. So Mothership, Dream of Scars, the Old Republic, 10,000 Feet, and Gem Garden. But we also are featuring 2v2s as well. Never seen such a best of formats. I mean, this is, if you maybe didn't watch Pro League back in the day, this is very similar to Pro League, except for the 2v2s, right? Pro League they were best of 5s as well, where you would have lineups revealed ahead of time, and you would field those lineups as well. Brood War Pro League did have 2v2. SC2 Pro League, I don't think, maybe the early season did, but it was something that kind of fell by the wayside, and unfortunately was never part of the StarCraft 2 version of Pro League. unfortunately. Here we go. But what did this initial preliminary stage mean? Of course, well, heading on down, bam, as you can see here, it leads into the group stage. So hold on very quickly here. So who won? Basilisk won their series, Team Liquid won their series, and Team Falcons as well. As a result, bam, you can see them. Basilisk, Team Falcons, and Team Liquid, they are seeded into the playoffs. They're seeded into the playoffs, into the final bracket, so they have today off. As you can see here, Streamer Zoun, Shopify, and Team Vitality, these are the 3 teams that failed to win their matches, and they are all in the group stage facing off for a chance at making it into the playoffs. Only one of these 3 teams will make it into the top 4, will make it into the playoffs. Oh boy. So you can see here, it's going to be Streamer Zoun versus Shopify. Then we have the Vitality match as well, as I believe it's going to be round robin. Yeah, it's going to be round robin here between our teams. Everyone will play against everyone, if I'm not mistaken. Not too familiar with the format. Do we have line? Oh, we have lineups as well. Let's go. We have Nightmare versus Lambo on Ruby Rock. We have Jumi versus Byun as well on 10,000 feet. We have Nightmare and SOS once again teaming up, going up against Harambo, Harstem, and Lambo on Gem Garden. And we have Geralt versus Harstem on Andromeda. Okay. We're featuring more TLMC21 maps. With Ruby Rock and with Andromeda as well. Coming into this, who do we favor? I still have to favor Harstem and Lambo in the 2v2s for sure. Yeah, Shopify, they're coming in as the heavy hitters. Nightmare, of course, is the ace player of Streamer Zoun, and Nightmare has a really good shot here at bringing it back and giving a nice lead to the team early on. I think I might lean towards Nightmare in this series against Lambo, so best of luck to Lambo. Jumi can be very cheeky, very cheesy. He has the potential to snipe Byun in a best of 1 for sure, and Geralt and Harstem is going to be a close one. I do consider them quite close in skill in that PvP, so there's potential here for this to go back and forth. Obviously, I would say that Shopify is favored. Shopify is favored in this series, but I can see a world where Streamer Zoun can take the win instead. So best of luck, and of course Vitality is going to be a part of this as well. So best of luck. When it comes to our coverage of this tournament, we should be live tomorrow in less than 24 hours. In less than 24 hours with these matches. You can see here that it's happening live. As I mentioned before, the main sponsor of this tournament is Chijik. Chijik is a streaming platform. What that means is that if you want to cast this live, you cannot cast it on Twitch, you cannot cast it on YouTube, it has to be live streamed on Chijik, which we have done in the past. We have covered Chijik events before, we have casted on their platform before. Unfortunately, it's a Korean platform and we never really got a lot of viewership, and it was a little bit disheartening to be the first and be the official live casters but not really get much attention, and then for others to replay cast a couple of hours later and kind of get all the viewership because they'd be streaming on Twitch, right? And everyone would be watching on Twitch as well. So it was a little bit disheartening, and it did feel like we were at a disadvantage for casting it live. So we decided to stop casting it live and to start casting it via replays as well. And we're getting more viewership as a result. So I mean, again, it just was never worth it casting it live, unfortunately. So we do cast it via replays instead, 24 hours after the fact. So again, this group stage is happening at the moment, and we should be live with this group stage tomorrow. Sorry, I say tomorrow. Actually, when are we going to be live with it? Let me check our calendar. Never mind. Yeah, tomorrow. Should be live in less than 24 hours with these matches. So we'll see you then. We'll see you then tomorrow for some more of these matches, for some more gathers. Crank Gathers Season 2. We'll never see Clem Protoss versus Maru. If you remember, that's the one thing. The only Terran player that Clem hasn't beaten with his Protoss is Maru. Because they've never played. Only because they've never played. And if you remember, that was one of the things, I keep bringing this up, that was the saddest part about the tournament that was earlier this year. Star Zagora, right? That was the saddest thing about Star Zagora, because Maru, he canceled his trip because of his shoulder injury. Remember, he was going to Star Zagora, and then he canceled because of his shoulder injury, so he never got to play against Clem there. And then at EWC, they never played either. They miss each other at EWC. So this would have been the place to maybe see them face off. Team Vitality, they have to make it through the standings, they have to make it through the group stage to have a chance of that happening. But yeah, so far Maru, he's the only Terran player that Clem hasn't beaten, and he's avoiding him. He's like What happened to Afrika TV? Is that still around? Yes. Afrika TV is still around. Chijik is a competitor. To Afrika. They're competing. Chijik was hard to access. Yeah, I know that if you're watching from outside of Korea, like you can, especially from Europe, I believe Europeans that were having like some buffering issues trying to watch on Chijik. It's just not friendly to the foreign scene. I don't think GSTL or SU Pro League had 2v2. Yeah, they didn't have 2v2. Only the Brood War iterations had it, from my memory at least. Last Fantasy still in the map. Is Last Fantasy still in this map pool? No shot. No shot. Is it? Okay. It's not in this tournament map pool. Thankfully. Yeah. Hello, well today's ongoing games will be casted. I'm quite late to the party, sorry. If you're talking about the group stage of Crank Gathers, we'll be casting that tomorrow. We're casting it tomorrow. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. By the way, they're playing right now. It's not the 28th. It is. At least here in Australia. Here in Australia, it is the 28th of October. 28th. So what you were seeing was my converted time zone is the 28th. Just because if you didn't know, I'm here in Australia. So different time zones. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it. And we'll see you guys tomorrow in less than 24 hours with the next day, with the next cast of this invitational of the Crank Gatherers Season 2 tournament. Let's go. So we'll find out which of the 3 remaining teams will be able to advance on into the playoffs. Will it be Streamer Zone, Team Vitality, or Shopify? Oh boy. I mean, part of me is cheering for Team Vitality just so we can maybe see Maru and Clem, but we'll see. It'll be fun nonetheless. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. If you're unsatiated, if you want some more StarCraft, if you can't wait, and if you want to watch the Day 2 live, it's being casted in Korean over on Chijik. Crank himself is casting the event, so you can check it out over on his channel. Otherwise, I believe Wardy TV Monday is still ongoing, right? I think it's still... Yeah, Wardy's tournament is still ongoing. I believe Steadfast is live with that. Wardy as well. So we'll give him some love. We'll give him some support. Technically, I could switch over, but we're wrapping up for today. So give some love to Wardy, and we'll see you guys next time. Until then, ciao, papi ciao. See you tomorrow. Also, if you want to support us, socials in the chat. You can follow us on YouTube. We do upload on YouTube on a daily basis, so plenty of content over on YouTube. Likewise, you can support us on Patreon as well. Our Patreon does help us fund our weekly tournaments. We do host events on a weekly basis, and all funded via Patreon. So you can support us there. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow. See you then. Ciao, papi ciao. See you then.